Hey everyone, welcome to a new series on my channel where I review movies in a way where it's sort of a podcast, and I'm going to be reviewing it with my buddy Jaden here.
Hello.
And we're going to start off with a classic movie in the 80s, Friday the 13th, 1980, and also just please note that this is our personal opinion on the movie, so if we don't like something from the movie, please don't go send hate in the comments. We really would not appreciate that.
That wouldn't be very nice.
Alright, so let's start off, I guess, with the story. Like, is the premise of this movie good to you?
I don't really know. I think the story lacks in a lot of ways. Like, compared to movies you would watch nowadays,
It's mediocre.
it's very mediocre storytelling. I think the characters are all really obnoxious.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the characters in the original, like Alice especially. She's not my favorite. No offense to the actress or whatever,
Yeah.
but she is not really the best iconic like character besides Jason or Pamela for that matter.
Not at all.
In Pamela, I do like her as the killer because I do like it when Jason's not the killer because it's something different. But honestly, I feel like she gets knocked down a lot in this movie.
Yeah, she
But-
gets out-wrestled by...
But it's fine. Anyways, though, I guess the opening scene starts off with counselors, I guess, in a flashback scene of 1958.
singing some Kumbaya, you know?
Yeah, sing some campfire songs, and then they go to mess around. If you know what I'm
True.
talking
They
about,
go
you know,
to-
like a little game of hide the pickle in the pumpkin, or whatever, if you will. And then
That's true.
we see a POV shot of someone coming up the stairs, and they get killed.
Yeah, they just get... In a very off-camera...
Shot.
It's not very good.
Yeah, like, and that one girl who just throws boxes.
She just throws the boxes.
Yeah,
There's-
she just like throws boxes and stuff.
Yeah, it's not very
Like pleasant. Or
Not
it's
at
not
all.
like really a good way to defend yourself from someone who probably has a knife. I'm assuming because her
Yeah.
boyfriend gets stabbed in the gut,
That's true.
and it kind of just looks like he rubbed fake blood on his belly or something.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
You'll notice a lot in this movie. There's just a lot of throwing things at the killer.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. They just throw stuff, and it's like that doesn't
It's
work.
mediocre, and also in
Yeah.
this movie, at the beginning, I guess after this like flashback that we see after this kill, like literally, where this girl, she literally just after she's on throwing boxes or whatever,
Yeah,
the killer POV shot comes at her, and then it flashes to away.
it's awful. It is genuinely the most.
And no
obnoxious
no
thing.
offense to this movie, but like still, this movie is not the best
not
like
very
one in the
good.
series. It's not.
even close.
But we're starting off with this one because we're going to be reviewing the other films too.
It's true. Yeah.
And I can't wait for our review of Jason Part 9. That movie's going to be awful.
It's an interesting movie for sure.
Yeah.
And then after that, what happens? Isn't it because then the lady, you see the
Oh, yeah, like, it was like that lady, like, she was, like, walking towards the camp or whatever.
yeah, she's walking and she comes to this little truck, like
Yeah.
this little truck stop, and goes in, and everyone just kind of looks at her.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
It's like it's like me. That's like how your supervisor looks at you at work.
Yeah, it's like you just kind of walk in, and it's like she's late to something, even though
Yeah.
she like wasn't.
That's like exactly how everyone looks at me when I'm late to lunch at my school.
Yeah.
They just fucking look at me like I just like murdered someone or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And she comes and she asks for a ride.
Yeah,
to
and
the
then
camp.
she gets a ride from this guy who I think voiced someone in like Beauty of the Beast or whatever.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I
That's
think
cool.
if he just so you know, I'm also saying info that I learned from a YouTuber who's a good
Yeah.
source of information, Dead Meat. We're not trying to copycat anything from him. It's just I don't think
No.
he did a podcast on this movie. I know.
No. Because he just did the co-count on it.
Yeah,
You
and
should go subscribe to Dead Meat.
yeah, go
He's
subscribe
he's
to Dead
pretty
Meat.
awesome.
Shout out to Dead Meat.
He's
I like.
pretty cool.
We love you, Dead Meat. If you're watching this,
Oh yeah.
we really like you, James. You're
He's
a great guy.
Wonderful guy.
But anyways,
Wonderful
yeah.
videos.
she asks for a ride, and then this guy, like truck driver guy, who again voices some guy in Beauty and the Beast.
They're walking,
Yeah.
and then they run into Crazy
Ralph,
Ralph,
crazy old Ralph,
who's
who
a
is-
wonderful character.
Yeah,
in
he's so wonderful.
very bad ways.
Like he's like your typical like scary old, or like
Yeah.
he's like your typical like crazy old man from Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
if
and
you will.
he sounds quite dumb. Like
Yeah.
he comes off as like very just crazy, but like not in a good way. He's
Yeah.
not spooky. It's just like
Yeah, apparently we hear later in the movie he got like drunk or whatever, and like
That's
he goes
true.
to jail for a week whenever he gets caught. Usually.
That's true. Yeah. He goes to jail for a week and then comes out, and
but then,
it's just the same
but
thing
then
again.
like that line, and then the dude who like is
And then we come
taking.
back
I
again.
forgot the girl's name. What's her name? Is
Oh,
like,
I don't remember what her. She's like in the movie for like 2 scenes. So realistically,
Yeah.
her name's said in like a very. It's said like once or twice.
Yeah.
But she's never really mentioned much. in
Yeah,
it.
I forgot her name, but it's fine.
That happens a lot in this movie where a character like
You forget
is
their
in
name.
it, and then not even just forget their name, but like they're in it, and then
Yeah.
the people just completely act like they don't exist.
Yeah, and we also literally just watched this movie. We
That's
just got
true.
done watching it because we want to have it fresh in our minds so
And
we
we
can
still
review
can't
it.
remember their names. I don't remember.
Yeah,
a
we
single
really
counselor's
can't remember it
name.
because they're not memorable.
They're really not. The characters in this movie are,
Like-
like extremely unmemorable.
Yeah, instead they got like weird, funny moments in a way.
That's true.
And then like this girl like that's getting drove into Crystal Lake by this like the oil truck guy or whatever.
Yeah, who has a nice little grab for butt, you know?
Yeah, like you can tell he was like grabbing her ass.
He wants it, and that's, you know what?
Yeah, he's
a bit
thirsty.
weird. It's a bit
It
weird.
was weird because I thought
It
I
was.
heard the actress was like maybe underage. I don't know.
Oh,
But-
that would make it even weirder.
I don't know. We don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really look it
But
up.
yeah, that's
Not to like say that the actor that did this and the actress, he was actually like trying to grab her butt or anything, and she like, we're not trying to accuse him. Of
yeah.
some-
Maybe
some
he just
weird
couldn't
stuff.
reach her legs to help her in or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's plenty of times. It's like it's the 80s, you know.
yeah, it's the
It's
80s.
just the 80s.
And then also we hear him say, "Shut up, Ralph."
That's true.
And then we see Ralph walk like weirdly get on his like little bike,
and then he just bikes away looking all weird.
yeah, like he just literally is looking at you. So weird.
He's so strange.
He's a strange old man.
So then they're driving, and then
He's like talking about like the camp or like what's
Yeah.
happened back then, like how I think a boy drowned or whatever, like how Jason drowned there.
yeah, and
We
then
know about this.
and then she drops, and then he drops her off in front of the cemetery, which I'm assuming is the same cemetery. It's supposed to be the same cemetery from Part 6.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's supposed to be the same.
I don't
cemetery.
know. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd assume it would be, seeing
It
this is all supposed to.
It
it's all
doesn't. It
supposed-
doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I just would assume because it's all supposed to take place in the same
Yeah.
central universe. So.
But then like she, instead of like that dude could have driven her all the way. But,
Yeah, I don't know
he
why he didn't want
I'm
to.
assuming he just was too lazy to
He
do
just
it.
didn't feel like it.
Just didn't feel
And
like
then it cuts to the most amazing music ever.
Yeah, like
Oh,
who doesn't like hearing a banjo while you see three counselors just driving, dude? Like,
Yeah.
I guess it kind of made sense when you see their car passing by a farm or whatever, but like it doesn't really
It
make
doesn't
sense
really.
to have a banjo playing in that part. Like,
Yeah.
it's so painful to listen to. It's like country music.
Oh yeah.
Like,
No offense to people that like country music, but
yeah,
it's not very
it's
good.
literally torture.
It's not very good.
Yeah. And
Um,
then, like, it cuts to them arriving to the camp,
Yeah.
and then, like, they meet the owner, Mr. Christie, I think.
Mr. Christie, Steve
Yeah.
Christie, I think.
Steve
it's
Christie. Yeah, Steve Christie.
The only character I can remember his name besides Pamela.
Yeah, and Alice or whatever. And
Honestly,
then-
I forgot her name. You're the only one that remembers it. You just say it, so I just.
Yeah. But he is chopping this, like, tree, and he's doing it in a really bad way that would hurt
Yeah.
his back. Like, he's, like, bent over in a way. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't question it. You know.
Yeah, and then they get out to help him out with the tree stump. He like tells them, "Hey, like your counselors, this is what you're supposed to do, and all that
Yeah,
stuff."
yeah.
You know, we meet Alice, who, to be honest, is wearing literally clothes you would not see someone wear at a camp. To be honest, like I know it's
Yeah.
the '80s, and usually there's quite a bit of people back then who just wear weird clothes for
Sure.
choices back then. But like, it's not like you have to wear that crap. I
That's
mean,
true.
I understand if someone's wearing a flannel, but like, I don't know what the point of wearing those pants and stuff were, or those
Yeah.
shoes. Her shoes were the weirdest choice for a camp I've ever seen
That's fair.
to me.
That's fair.
And it's just it's funny, but yeah, that's just basically what
Yeah.
we meet. Alice, we meet the characters, and there's that stereotypical guy like who he like that douchebag, I guess. I don't know. He's
nah,
like,
don't
or he's not. He's
don't
not.
disrespect my.
He's not
man's
that
like
kind of guy. He's like the guy who just.
He's a little weird.
He's just like that weird guy.
He's a little strange. Yeah.
Pretends to drown to get a kiss later on in the movie.
Oh man, he's a
And-
wonderful character who just like the girl in the card completely gets like they just act like he doesn't exist. No one even discovers his body.
Yeah.
It's a bit
It's
strange.
yeah, like he just kind of disappears from the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, he like just pretty much gets forgotten for the rest of the movie,
Yeah.
and there's nothing really that happens after it. We kind of like see him later, like in the top of the bunk bed, while Kevin Bacon is getting his bacon jumped,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Above the bed, you see him above the bed with his throat slit.
It's
I don't know what I should say about the special effects makeup for this movie. I don't know if I should say they're bad, but
they were all right.
yeah, Tom Savini, he does a good job with his special makeup effects and stuff like that. But like
This was
that death face was like so like death face to me.
yeah.
It was an odd face, but yeah.
So after they show up to the camp, and the chopping wood, what's her face comes out. I don't remember what her name is.
Yeah,
Is Angela her name? The one you don't like.
Alice.
Alice.
Like, she's like-
and she's dressed all weird. In your opinion, I think she dresses fine, but
Yeah, I don't know. She's just, I don't know.
and then after that, you just like the next scene. What is the next scene? Is it Steve Christie leaving the camp? Is that what happened?
Yeah,
after
he left the camp at like sometime before, I think. I
Oh
don't know.
no, because after this, it's when Alice is fixing the
The gutter or whatever.
the gutter, and he
touches her
he
face.
weirdly touches her face.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a bit-
like. I don't think she was really into that.
Yeah.
I don't even think the actor looked like she liked it.
Nah. And then after that, just kind of he just kind of doesn't really show it. Like he leaves the camp,
Yeah.
and the counselors are just kind of there to do whatever they want. And
Yeah.
and then he doesn't show up until the end of the movie again. He's
Yeah.
another character that gets mentioned like 3 times in the movie and then is gone till the end.
Yeah, and then also like the counselors went swimming or whatever. They're like
And then-
screwing around with this like raft thing or
Yeah.
whatever, and then this like the same guy who got his throat slit earlier. Like he was
Very
later in the movie when that happened,
later.
but like he
Yeah.
pretended to drown, I think, just to get a kiss.
Yeah.
To me, that's what he was doing. I thought.
Obviously. And then-
Or he was just playing around and he didn't really intentionally.
Oh, we can't forget about the scene. He also almost shoots the girl with the
Yeah.
arrow, which happens before. the
Yeah,
next
he
scene.
almost shoots a girl with an arrow earlier
Yeah,
before I
and then
forgot
they go
her
and then
name.
they go do the sex in the woods. That's what I think.
Yeah,
happened.
that's what you think.
That's what I
See,
think
Jaden
happened.
here thinks that they had sex in the woods
I-
after.
because they were so flirtatious with one another, and then they went to the woods, and then they weren't seen until later.
Yeah.
What do you think happened in the woods?
I don't know. I thought they just walked back to the camp or something.
That's also a possibility, but I like my possibility more.
Yeah, maybe your possibility is the right one. We never know.
That's
Maybe you
true.
should read the script one day.
Get access to the script, the original idea.
I mean, it's not that hard.
that's true.
It's like you probably get it online or whatever.
That's fair. And so after they're swimming, and
Yeah.
then the dude fake drowns so he can get the kiss.
Yeah, and like we also see this POV shot of like Pamela, I'm pretty sure, like stalking him, and then someone actually somehow fucking sees her, which doesn't make sense because how do you
Yeah.
see someone from that far?
I don't
It's,
know, man.
Like it might have, yeah,
And then in the scene after that, that's when the lady that dies gets picked up
yeah,
by Pamela, and then it's like, yo, bring me to Crystal Lake.
yeah. Like she's like hitchhiking again, and then like
Yeah.
she just gets in our ride, and she's like talking about how she's so cool and stuff, and
then
everyone who watches the movie, they were like, you don't care.
Yeah,
And
pretty
then,
much.
like, she's, like, asking, like, hey, did we just, like, pass the camp there? And
Yeah.
then, like, like Pamela doesn't say anything. She said
Pamela is just trying to bring her to go have a tea party at the house.
Yeah, of course. That's obviously what she's going to do.
But the lady got all freaked out and just jumped out of the car, and I'm assuming, like, sprained her ankle.
Yeah, because she did,
something.
like, she kept, like, tripping. I don't think that's a stereotypical thing that they were trying to do in horror movies, where, like, someone just trips no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just, like, she, like, did something to her foot. She, like, did a somersault into a rock.
Yeah.
And Pamela, like, backs up the car and then gets out and then starts chasing her.
In a very slow manner.
Yeah, but it's still catching up to her pretty
Because
quick.
the lady's just super slow because she sprained her ankle.
Yeah, and then eventually, like, Pamela, like, tries to cut her off, and it looks like she succeeds. But she somehow gets in front of her,
Yeah.
like, and is waiting for her, and then she, like, notices her when she's trying to get away through the woods.
Yeah.
And then she trips and falls, and then, like, leans against a tree, and then Pamela, like, slits her throat, and then another flash away. We go.
Another flash away.
Yeah.
Flash away number 2.
Yeah, these, like, kills aren't, like, cheesy to me. They're just, like...
They're bad.
They're not, like... They're bad,
They're
but,
really
like,
bad.
not every single one of them is terrible. It's just,
No, it's
like,
just
it
most of
flashes to white after, and I don't see the point in doing that.
Most of the kills are bad. That is.
Yeah.
Like most of the kills are bad. Some of them are all right, and then some of them are, like, good. There's not like a super good kill. There's not like a super bad kill. It's actually, that's not true. The first 2 kills sucked.
Yeah.
They're some of the worst kills in ever.
Yeah, ever. And then, like, what happened next after? It was,
bro, I don't know.
bro, they, like...
Honestly, the movie is really forgettable. There's, like, a lot of this, like, we just finished this movie, and I'm already forgetting most of what happened besides, like, the big key moments in the movie.
Yeah, like...
Because it's really forgettable.
Yeah, it's not, like, the worst Friday the 13th movie ever made.
It's true.
But, like...
It's the most forgettable one.
But it's just one of the most forgettable ones. And then I'm assuming after, like,
I think it's the snake parts after this.
Yeah,
and then they murder an innocent snake.
Yeah, if you don't know behind the scenes, that was not a, like, prop snake that they killed
the
in
real
that.
snake.
That was a actual snake actor that was owned by a guy who didn't know they were gonna kill it. Like, I heard that Tom Savini asked him if, like, they can borrow it, and they killed it, like, without telling him. And then, like, that's pretty messed up to do to a poor innocent snake.
That poor snake, man.
Like, my instincts when I see a snake aren't to chop its head off. Like, it's just, like, I would just leave it alone. Not necessarily just chop its head off with a machete.
Yeah.
But, like, then, like, this one girl, like, makes up a joke when they kill it, saying, at least we know what's for dinner. That felt like an asshole thing to say to me, because, like, still, that was a real snake that they killed. And I can't stop bringing that up.
So after the snake gets killed,
they, like...
It kind of, like, there's the generator part that isn't really important, where they talk about the generator. That's actually, that's way earlier in the movie. I don't even know.
Yeah, they were, like, talking about that, like, Steve Christie, like, told him how to use the generator or whatever.
Yeah.
Not really important.
No. I mean, like, I guess it's kind of, like, foreshadowing later when the dude gets killed by the generator, but other than that, not really important.
Yeah, it's not really an important part.
Realistically, we could probably skip to the part around where Kevin Bacon gets the sex, which is honestly like what I feel like was pretty close to next. So the dude, the guy that gets forgotten because he was an important character. Oh, the police officer shows up, then Creepy Wells shows up again.
We forgot that. So,
the
like,
police
before they killed the snake...
What was that after they killed the snake?
It was, like, after, a little while after, I think. I don't know.
It's
not really important. But, like, they killed this snake. They, after they killed the snake, like, this cop shows up and says he's looking for crazy old Ralph. You know, the stupid old man.
Yeah, the weird one.
Yeah, that I really hate.
Yeah.
But, like, he's looking for him, and then the guy who gets forgotten is literally, like, dressed up in his fucking underwear, wearing an Indian hat or whatever, and he's like, dancing around, and he's going, like...
Yeah.
He's, like, going like that. He's dancing around.
He's doing the offensive. Nowadays, if they did that, that'd be, like, extremely offensive.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
It's very offensive.
Yeah.
But then, like, yeah, that's what happens after.
Yeah, and then they go
like-
and check inside the pantry, and there's crazy old Ralph, and he's
Yeah,
like,
and
"You'll
then-
never come back again."
Yeah, he's like, God sent me. That's what he says. He's
That's
like,
true.
oh, God sent me here. God sent me here to let y'all know that you're doomed. You're like,
You're gonna die.
fucked.
And then he drives away on his little bike again.
Yeah.
The wrong way too. He just goes into the woods.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure that's the wrong way, because, like, the cop went this other way, which
Yeah.
I'm assuming is the right way, and just Ralph, maybe he likes going through the woods.
I don't know, man.
I kind of hope he crashes his bike into the lake.
Honestly,
That would be funny.
that would be funny.
But,
And so then, I mean, after that's Kevin Bacon and the girl there.
you know, having that fun bacon, getting his bacon
Well,
jumped.
before that, they're dancing on the log.
Yeah, they're
They-
like, or like balancing or whatever, and then like the guy that no one
No one remembers the one who
Yeah.
never gets brought up again after this point.
after like he does the offensive joke or whatever.
Yeah, you see him. He's like all sad. He's like, "Man, I wish I had a girlfriend like
Yeah.
my man's Kevin Bacon."
And then he like walks near this cabin and he sees like
Pamela.
someone going. Yeah, I'm assuming it's Pamela.
Pamela.
She looks weird though. It looks like she's wearing a leather jacket.
I don't know.
Yeah, it literally looks like a guy to me at first.
That's
or,
true,
Like,
it
I
does.
thought maybe it was a rain poncho at first because like she wears a rain poncho later
That's
in the movie.
true. It might be that.
Yeah, and then he like asks, "Can I like help you?" You know, I don't think you follow someone into a cabin like that. Like, you necessarily shouldn't do that.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe he thought it was his dream crush or whatever.
yeah, he was
Nah.
like, "Oh, it's finally I can help someone."
Yeah, and then
and
later
then he
on-
gets killed.
Yeah.
He just gets his cut. He just
Like
gets his.
when Bacon's getting his bacon jumped, we get the shot of that happening, and then like the camera goes up, and
And
we
he's
see
dead.
like his body on the top
Yeah.
bunk.
Pretty much.
He's just like, bruh. Like, and Bacon's gonna see that, and he's gonna be like, dude, don't cock block me. Or
Honestly.
whatever. That's probably what it'd be like.
So after Kevin Bacon gets a little bit of the
Yeah, you know, like, mess around action.
the lady,
He needs to go, like, brush her teeth or
she
something.
needs to get cleaned up. You know. She
Yeah,
needs
she
to be,
needs to wash up, I don't know.
so she goes into the bathroom.
And, like, has an underpants party.
Honestly, all by herself. It's a single underpants party.
Yeah, and then she, like, thinks that Kevin is there. Well, Kevin's name isn't Kevin this
I
one.
don't
We're just
remember
calling him that
what- yeah.
because that's really what we
Kevin
call
Bacon.
him.
Yeah.
But his name is, like, Jack or whatever. She, like,
Sure.
thinks she thinks that Jack is, like, in a stall or whatever. And then she, like, opens it and it's like, oh, it's just my imagination. And then, like, so, like, she gets an axe to her
She
face.
just gets whacked.
Yeah, she gets, like, an axe. Like, you can feel... Like, you can see, like, the impact, I guess, was, like, a
Yeah.
hard impact. I don't know. Like, she gets an axe to her head.
Um,
Not the worst makeup effects I've seen.
I think it's better. It's the third best kill in the movie. For
Yeah, I think Kevin Bacon's kill is probably the best.
sure. It is 100%.
Yeah, and then, like, I think cuts back to
It
him.
cuts back to Kevin Bacon,
Yeah.
and he's smoking a joint.
Yeah, he's just having a nice time, and then, like, this blood drips on his head, and then, like, he's, like, looking at it, and then, like, a hand covers his, no, it wasn't covering his mouth. I think it was, like, grabbed his
It's grabbed
forehead
his
or
head.
whatever, and then, like, he gets an arrow through his head.
Yeah.
Good behind the scenes, like, Kevin Bacon, like, had his body underneath the bed, and he had a fake neck and a fake body or
Yeah.
whatever, and then, like, the blood tube stopped working behind the scenes or whatever, and then,
Yeah.
like, some guy, like, blew into it, and that's what caused, like, the big spurt that you see.
Yeah.
The version we watched the theatrical cut.
We did.
We didn't watch the uncut version, which I'm
Yeah.
assuming is like probably the one a lot of people actually watch more.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember Kevin's death being that short, or like Jack's death being that short.
Yeah.
I remember like a big spurt of blood coming out and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you see the big spurt in the movie.
Yeah, but like we don't like we
not
see
like-
this. I
yeah.
thought it was more extended,
It might have been. I
but
don't
still, this kill is legendary. To
know. It
me.
is. It's a legend. It's the best kill in the. It's the
Yeah.
best kill in the movie.
It's still an iconic kill, I guess.
Yeah.
This movie isn't as iconic as I used to think it was, but,
for sure.
you know. But then,
Um,
like, after, like, we see, like, Steve Christie, like, he's, like, in town eating pancakes, and you can't,
Okay, before we talk about that, well, all of that stuff's going on inside of the camp. Inside of one of the other things, you have the three other characters. You have the dude that kills the snake. I don't remember his name. We haven't really
Yeah.
brought him up at this point because he's not really that big until the end.
Yeah, he wasn't that big.
There's the lady that I think the guy that dies sexes with, and then there's Alice, who's
Like,
Alice.
I really don't like Alice. Like,
And they were playing Strip Monopoly.
yeah, they're playing Strip Monopoly. I was gonna bring that up, but I was like thinking that we see Steve Christie in town first. I don't remember.
because because the Kevin Bacon death and all that stuff, the Strip Monopoly thing has already started.
Yeah, so we see the Strip Monopoly happen. Fun.
Go.
So yeah, like they're like talking about, or like they're playing Strip Monopoly, and like there was this part where like I forgot his name. This one guy is playing the game with them. He like needs to like
Takes his shoe off.
yeah, he takes his shoe off like out of anything. I don't think if I played Strip Monopoly, I would have you do that. Like I think that's
Yes.
how I would want it to happen.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, it's whatever. But like
Oh.
then like at one point like one of the other girls like is playing like takes off her
Pop.
shirt and like you see her very skinny chest, I will admit. I'm just saying, very skinny. I'm not
Oh.
saying we see her tatas. I'm saying
No.
That-
You only see that one girl. You only see Kevin Bacon's girlfriend's top.
yeah, but like enough about tatas. It's just like she really has a skinny chest to me. But yeah, then like before Alice can like take her shirt off too.
The door opens.
Yeah, like the door opens because of the rain. I don't think that's how it works.
I mean, it's a cabin, so their doors aren't really very...
Sturdy.
Yeah, and if it's super windy, there's like
Yeah.
a pretty large chance the door would open, so I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah, I guess that's like how it works or whatever. But then
Yeah.
like
So then,
what was next? We see like Steve Christie like in town.
that's true, and he's flirting with a...
Yeah, he's flirting with like a 60-year-old like
lady.
diner waiter or whatever. Like
Yeah.
he's literally flirting with her. And then he like leaves, and then like on his way back, like
his truck gets...
or his like Jeep or whatever
Yeah.
breaks down, and then like a cop comes by and like gives him a ride.
Yeah.
And then like
right.
we go back to like where the Strip Monopoly game has to end, and then like I
Yeah.
forgot her name. I don't even.
I
It's
don't
not
remember.
important. It's not important.
She
She goes back. She has to like go out for the night. She goes and brushes her teeth.
and then she hears someone screaming for help.
Yeah, like well, that was in her cabin, I think. Like she
Oh,
goes
yeah.
to like brush her teeth or whatever, and then
Yeah.
like she almost comes face to face with Pamela, I think. And then she goes to her cabin and tries to read a nice book, you know?
She's a little bit of a nerd. She's a
Yeah.
bit of a book.
Yeah, you like reading books. And
I
then
love
she hears a little boy screaming, which I'm assuming is Pamela
Pamela.
trying to like intimidate Jason's voice.
Yeah, I mean, she does it a lot towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, she like, and then we see like close-ups of her pearly whites, which to be
Oh,
honest,
yeah.
whatever she's paying her dentist, it's not enough, because that's
Sure.
like really good.
Oh yeah,
Jeez,
Pamela had some nice looking teeth.
Yeah, but like, so yeah, she like goes out there to help the poor screaming boy
And then she goes all the way to
to
the...
archery range, and then she gets
And then no one
shot
really knows.
off screen. I'm assuming.
No one
assuming
knows.
she got shot by arrows off screen.
Genuinely, there's no proof and evidence of any of that, so I have actually no clue really how she died, because she just gets thrown through a window later, and she's wrapped up in...
Rope, which is stupid.
Yeah, it's really dumb. I'll talk more about my opinion on that later.
Yeah, but
I have a very poor one.
yeah. Later on, you guys are gonna see us probably shit on a little bit of more bad horror
Yeah.
movies in this series.
Sure.
Like, we're eventually gonna review the Leprechaun movies after we're done with like big
Yeah.
horror movie series. But enough about that. But
So
but yeah.
she gets killed off screen, and then what's the dude, the other guy? I don't remember what his name is.
Like eyes or whatever.
Yeah, he comes in to... Oh, he's still there because Strip Monopoly.
Yeah, and then like
I mean, he's flirting with Alice.
yeah, and then like he goes to check on the generator, and he comes back or whatever. I don't remember.
He's checking on he goes to check, so they go, and they're walking around, and they go to they kind of just go all around the camp. There's really nothing too mentionable about it. And then they go back to their cabin, and and Alice falls asleep, and he goes
to like check on the generator. And I think like Alice wakes up and tries to make coffee, and we watch that for literally like 10 minutes.
It really is.
It's like not. It's not suspenseful. Like, why do we need this?
It's not very great.
And then like she goes with him to take a look at to see where all the friends are and stuff.
That already happened. That was earlier.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, she like goes to like the generator to see what's taking him so long.
Yeah.
And then like when she comes outside, like the door closes, and then like we see like his body with arrows through it.
And if we got to watch this kill, this would be the best kill in the movie.
Yeah, it would have been, because the aftermath looks good.
Yeah, the aftermath is really good.
Yeah. And then so yeah, like the final girl circuit begins in this movie. And
where she finds almost every body.
Yeah.
Except for Kevin Bacon's girlfriend, and then the one guy.
Yeah.
She finds none of their bodies, but she finds the boy. She finds her love interest. She finds what's his face, Christy, who got killed.
He gets like gutted below screen, I think.
Yeah. And then she finds that other girl's body because it gets thrown through the window. It's so bad.
Yeah, like if we didn't realize behind the scenes, you can notice that her hair looks blackish when she's getting thrown through the window. That was Tom Savini behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the actor couldn't do that. I don't know.
She probably just didn't feel like it.
Yeah, so like I don't know. I'm assuming Savini was her stunt double or whatever.
Yeah.
So then, he gets thrown through the window, and then what's up with the rope? What is up with it?
What's up with the thing that she's wrapped in? Because she's wrapped in something too.
Like, yeah, she has rope around her. It's weird.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, that's what's wrong. Like, she's like thrown through the window, like,
and there's no signs of like where she was attacked either.
Yeah, she's like thrown through the window with like a brick with a note on it or something.
Honestly, and it's like there's no signs of how she died. It looks like all of her like blood and stuff is mostly just from being thrown through the window.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I'm assuming she got wrapped up and then like Pamela threw the window and then like that killed her. I don't know if that's how it works.
I don't think that's how that works.
But whatever. And then like Alice like runs out the front door and comes face to face with Pamela as she's like driving her Jeep towards the house and then like gets out. How would she have that time to throw her through the window and then get her Jeep over there?
It's a bit
of logic that I don't know if everyone realized who watched this movie.
Yeah.
If you watch this movie, you probably never realized that, but we did.
It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. And then she comes face with Pamela, who says like she's like an old friend of
the Christies.
Yeah, or like the camp or whatever, and then like that's probably just, well, it wasn't a lie, but it was like to trick her into thinking that she's safe of her. And then like we get the origin story of how Jason drowned in Crystal Lake when he was 11.
Yeah, because the camp counselors were sexing.
Yeah, they were, just...
They were too busy doing
that's what Pamela thinks, at least.
That's probably what was happening, too. Honestly.
Yeah, because that could... I mean, I don't think that's what happens at a summer camp.
Honestly, it is.
It is, but, like, yeah, that's what how Jason, like, drowned or whatever. Yeah. That's how he died. And then we get...
like, 30 minutes.
Of Pamela getting attacked and then, like, stunned for, like, 5 minutes.
And then Alice running away.
And then
but not running out of the camp. She just runs to a different...
Like, she could have tried to get in her Jeep and drive off. Like, she left her Jeep.
She was going to, but then she saw the body of the hitchhiker.
I would have still got in and drove off.
So would I.
Like, but I wouldn't care. You could have just, like, pushed it out.
You should have just GTA'd it. Just,
Yeah, just GTA that
throw it out of it. Throw it out of the car and then just start driving away. But she didn't.
Yeah,
she ran away.
Ran to, like...
She ran to...
this, like, boathouse with a bunch of guns and stuff. And she was, like, trying to open up this drawer with a chain on it. I don't know what was in there. Like, I'm assuming something that would kill her.
Maybe the ammo?
Yeah, like...
the gun?
Yeah, I'm assuming that was it. And then, like...
And then they get into a wrestling match.
Yeah, and then Pamela gets a gun butt to her vagina and then
Yes.
to her face.
Whack. Yep.
Like, she gets destroyed.
And before all of this, there is another moment of just someone throwing stuff at Pamela.
Like, she was just, like, she threw a ball of yarn at her. Like,
She
that's
threw-
not gonna do
She
anything.
threw, like, everything at her.
She's, like, throwing random shit at her.
Yeah.
It's funny, but... So, yeah, but she keeps getting, like, stuff thrown at her, and,
knocked
it was
down.
kind of funny, but, like... And then, like, Pamela resorts... or, like, retaliates by literally slapping Alice across the face like an abusive mom.
Yeah, and she just
Or, like,
beats her.
grandma. Or whatever.
She just beats her. And
Yeah,
then
and then
through a
throws her onto a
taser.
table, and then Alice gives her a like gun butt whack to the crotch, and then
Yeah.
a gun butt
Yeah, like we said before.
like
she
hit
just-
to the face. Like we did say this before, but
Yeah.
just mentioning that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And then she like runs off or whatever, and then Pamela gets up and is like goes out of the boathouse they were in, and is like intimidating Jason's voice, like going like "kill her, mommy, kill her, don't let her
Yeah.
get away" or whatever.
It's weird.
Yeah, and then like Alice, I'm pretty sure she like goes into a house or like the cabin from before where she was playing Strip Monopoly and like hides in the closet,
And then
and then like
Pamela comes in with a machete and
she like goes in like the pantry or whatever, and then like Pam like whacks like a piece of wood down that's on the door, and like sees her that she's in there, and Alice grabs a pot or like a pan or whatever, I don't know what it was, to defend herself with, and then Pamela comes in like as it unlocks the door and then comes in and like tries to swing her with a machete, and then Alice retaliates by hitting her in the face with that pot or whatever, and then Pamela's like bleeding from her head. I don't know.
yeah.
She's bruised, and then Alice
then
like doesn't like run off. She just like walks over to the lake and like is kneeling down at the water.
And she sees Pamela with the machete.
Yeah, like she sees her shadow or whatever, and then like she like blocks it with an oar, and then it like instantly cuts it in half. Like,
Which-
how did that happen?
Which I find so funny because the wood is so much thinner to get into the pantry, but it took her like 60 chops to get into the pantry. But it took her one chop to break the
Oar.
the thick oar. It
Yeah.
makes no sense to me. But
And then like they do a wrestling match again.
That's
and then, that's where
Pamela gets her head chopped off.
yeah, like well they wrestle, and then Pamela like slams her head into sand or
Yeah,
whatever.
she just like whack, whack,
like whack, whack, whack. It's funny.
It is.
It's
quite.
a weird, funny fight, and then like she like tries to strangle her or whatever, and then
Yeah.
and then Alice tries to like scratch her face or whatever, and then like Pamela bites her like she's an
That's
animal.
true.
And then she knocks her off her. Alice like gets up, grabs her machete, and runs at her full speed in slow motion and gets her head chopped off.
Yes.
Funny. No, not
Not
funny.
funny,
Not funny.
but-
It's just like a weird kind of death.
It's the third. It's definitely the fourth best kill in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I should say. I mean, her kill is iconic, I guess.
But it's not like I
Like-
feel like every Jason kill is more iconic than this.
Yeah,
one-
it's
than
not as
one.
memorable. I don't know.
This movie isn't memorable.
Yeah.
This movie isn't very memorable.
Yeah, and then Alice like goes on a canoe ride or whatever.
On the lake.
And then it's morning, and then I'm assuming this was a dream. I don't know.
No one's really sure, but she gets tossed. So Jason pops up from the water when the cops show up.
Yeah, and then
And-
like pulls her under, and then she wakes up in a hospital. I'm assuming it might have been a dream. I'm assuming it's not,
I don't
because
know.
the same cop that was like yelling to her when she was in the canoe was like saying he like two of his men dragged her out, and she's like asking like, "Did you find the boy Jason who dragged me underwater?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, "No, we didn't see no boy
yeah.
with like the weirdest face on him."
and
Then she says, "Then he's still there."
then
And then that's it. That's the end of the movie. And to be honest, it's not a terrible movie.
but it's mediocre.
It's like a
That's
mediocre
word
movie.
I
I
would
really
use.
liked the original when I was little, and I
Same.
always didn't think it was mediocre or bad because I didn't believe in that when I was little.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, so I we're gonna like basically say what we think of this movie. Like, did we think this was actually good now? Because we just watched it. We
That's
really
true.
just watched it, and we don't remember shit almost.
That's that. Yeah.
But yeah, well,
you
I
wanna
do.
go first?
I would give it a like 3.5 stars. I guess it's not terrible, but just mediocre.
Yeah. What were some of your problems and like your favorite parts of the
My
movie?
problems were
Your problems.
the snake, of course.
That's true.
Who doesn't like? Nobody would like getting a snake killed for a movie.
Yeah, it's
Today they'd probably use CGI.
of course they do
But-
CGI or like a prop or something.
Yeah, but like my problems is not memorable characters, kind of stereotypical, a little
Yeah.
bit. Not really, but like there's that
They
casual
created
rape,
the
like
stereotypes.
offensive guy. I don't know.
True. Yeah, it's got
And it's just not memorable. Kevin Bacon did a good job in this movie. He wasn't bad.
and so did Betsy.
This
Palmer.
movie still did good. I heard it made more money than The Shining, which is surprising, apparently. But we'll probably review The Shining one day, but
Yeah.
it'll be a while probably till we do, because we got to get through this whole franchise.
So many franchises.
Next time we do a podcast review, it will be Friday the 13th Part 2.
That's true.
Which is where Jason gets to play or whatever. I don't really
Yeah.
know what happened with Jason. I don't know if he
That's true.
I don't know if Jason was drowned and then he just came back, or like he drowned, like didn't drown to begin with, and then like he just
Yeah.
washed up on shore and didn't know where his mom was. Apparently, I heard that he like saw his mom get killed or beheaded or whatever,
Yeah.
and
They try to put that in one of the other movies.
yeah,
that
like the
you watch.
remake or whatever. So yeah, like what would you rate this movie?
I think that this movie is like a 42%
On Rotten Tomatoes?
on my own personal ranking.
Actually,
yeah.
I don't think I said what mine was. I give it like a 52 or something.
Yeah, you give it a 3.5.
Yeah, but like on Rotten Tomatoes, I give it like a 52 percentage. I
Yeah.
guess.
I had a lot more problems with this movie than I think you did.
Yeah. So what was like your problems and like good things you liked?
So the good things I liked, I'll start with that first because there's less of those. I think that for a movie on what I'm assuming its budget wasn't very high. I think it had it got some good actors, I think, for certain roles. I don't think all the roles were played by great actors. But I think they definitely did their best with what they had, which wasn't a lot. I think that the parts that were graphic were good. Like the most graphic kills were the best ones in the movie. They were the ones where there was like actually you could tell they put time and effort into trying to make the kills look good. They looked good, but a lot of the kills just didn't have that effort put into it. Obviously budget related, as I'd assume. The parts I don't like about the movie are also the acting. I think the acting fell in some parts and was good in others.
Yeah.
I think most of the kills, they were off screen. They weren't very good. The movie is it feels longer than it is. The movie itself isn't very long, but it feels like you're there.
It feels like you're there long at one point.
Yeah.
Like it feels like this didn't have to be this long or whatever.
For sure.
See, this is what I like. I like horror movies that usually aren't that long.
Yeah.
Like Jason Takes Manhattan does feel long in some parts.
Jason on a boat.
Yeah, we'll get to that movie eventually, but
I think that'll be the one we disagree on the most.
yeah, because if you all don't know, I actually really like Jason Takes Manhattan.
And I think
And
it's awful.
yeah, I know it's a bad movie, but I like it.
It's Jason on a boat.
Yeah, but he did go to Manhattan.
It was an actual Manhattan.
Yeah,
We'll discuss
we'll
this
discuss
another
this in the 8th podcast.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this was our review of Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
1980. Not a shitty movie.
It was mediocre.
It was just a mediocre horror movie.
That's true.
Not really as memorable as the other films.
That's very accurate.
Yeah. But yeah, we will, I guess, sign off here. We will be reviewing Friday the 13th Part 2. I'm assuming next time we can, really.
Yeah,
We don't really have a schedule.
that's true.
But yeah, we hope to see you all in the next video, I guess. Peace out.